the world together and make it a better place for you and I so that, oh God, I'm beginning to get drained and emotionally tired of everything going on in Nigeria and the world. It seems more like every day you flip through the newspapers, you surf the internet, and all you see is bad news, bad news, bad news. It's beginning to affect me emotionally, psychologically. I don't know about you, but I'm being honest right here. So let's try to work together. If you see something, please say something. I know it's going to take a while, okay, before all of this will come to an end, but we need to start to try to encourage one another. Let's stop the bickering. Let's stop the unnecessary politicking here and there. When we see something, we should call it what it is. I don't want to go into details, okay? I'll have to bring you the update first before we kick off with today's edition of Health Revolution. Thank you, as usual, Barry Cosmos, for handing over the microphone to me. And before I continue with the topic for today, I'd like to apologize for my inability to make it here yesterday. I had a lot on my plate. When I mean a lot, oh Lord, people around me know, but it wasn't actually very easy coming here yesterday. But thankfully, I am here once again, and together would make the next 45 minutes worthwhile and very interesting. My name, as always, is Mary Omeni Wode. You can call me the Slim Diva, your most adorable. And in the studio with me this morning is J Boy, DJ J Boy, the baddest DJ we have right here in Owerri and the whole of Southeast. So together it's going to be, fun all the way. However, somehow I'll be starting the program on a solemn note, okay? Because of the story that will back up whatever it is I have to say this morning. But before then, let me quickly drop two updates for you and let you know that the Zamfara state government has approved 6 months of maternity leave for female civil servants as part of efforts to promote exclusive breastfeeding and improve maternal and child health. Now, the announcement was made on Thursday by the state head of service, Yakubu Heidara, while receiving a delegation from a particular NGO in partnership with Nigeria. And according to Heidara, the approval reflects Governor Daouda Lawal's commitment to tackling child malnutrition and improving nutrition outcomes for infants across the state. This is a welcome development, if you ask me. And why I'm saying this is because I want Imo State and other states in the southeast and beyond to replicate what has just happened in Zamfara State. Imagine a nursing mother who has been given permission to go nurse her baby would come back after 2 months to resume duties. It doesn't make any sense. Let us be humane, okay? And know that most of the time, a new mother and her baby have got lots of challenges, okay? But with support and the right things put in place, trust me, they will be well taken care of. So yes, I agree. 6 months maternity leave, that's a welcome development, and Imo State government should also work toward that angle to ensure that new mothers and their babies receive all the care and nutrition that they need right after delivery. And also to Lagos State, where we are getting the information that a 22-year-old pregnant woman who was found unconscious on a Lagos street was rescued from the brink of death, delivered of a healthy baby girl, and reunited with the Plateau State government in what officials have described as another successful story when it has to do with healthcare emergency cases in Lagos. Now, the woman, identified as Tingni Kindness, was discovered unconscious in the Allen area of Lagos on June 6th and was rushed to the Lagos State University Teaching Hospital, LASUTH. And after receiving emergency treatment and being stabilized by doctors, the lady Kindness remained under medical care until June 21, when she was safely delivered of a baby girl. And that's a good one, coming all the way from Lagos. I still come back home to Imo. Most times you go to the streets and you see young ladies pregnant. What crosses my mind most of the time is what gets to happen to them either before delivery or right after they have their children, because all of a sudden you see that the pregnancy is gone, you're not seeing any baby. You understand what I'm trying to say. So people who are mentally challenged, and are vulnerable also need all the care and support that they can get from the state government. So we say kudos to Lagos state government and Imo. Yes, we need to also learn and do better. All right, let's go over to the topic for today. Like I said, it's going to be me starting on a solemn note today. However, it's good we talk about these things so that people can learn. Anywhere you go, everywhere you turn, on the pages of newspaper, on the internet, every radio station, television station is talking about it, and I will not be an exception. I actually have to talk about this so that people would know about the after effects of kidnappings and abduction. We shall talk about mental health after trauma. Mental health after trauma. And we'll be making reference to the case of the released abducted school children and the teachers in Oyo State. We shall try as much as we can to explore the psychological effects that abduction can have on not just the victims now, but including the family members and even the community at large. Recall that on May 15th, 2026, terrorists struck 3 schools, killed a teacher, and abducted pupils and teachers from Baptist Nursery and Primary School Yawota, Community Grammar School Esiele, and another school, I think is LA Primary School, where no fewer than 39 pupils and 7 teachers, including a principal, were abducted. What a sad story. And now in that story, we all know that young children, some say 2, as young as 2, some say as young as 3. I saw clips and I was moved to shed a tear. Imagine your 2-year-old nephew or your 2-year-old niece or your 2-year-old child in the hands of kidnappers in the forest, in a bush, under the harsh weather. I don't even want to talk about the creepy things, the crawly things, the insects, the mosquito bites, the animals, wild animals that could have devoured these children. I don't want to go into all of those details. Why? Because I have a focus this morning. I would want us to focus on the after effect of the trauma or the after effect of the kidnappings, on that these children had to actually go through. Now, they were recently released safely, but the experience they actually passed through, you would agree with me, is deeply traumatic and highly traumatizing. Reports indicate that there were several inhumane treatments meted out to these children. And when the principal was being interviewed, she said something that struck me, and she said that the children faced the most physical assault from the terrorists. Why? Innocent children. You and I will know that, or you and I know that it's quite difficult getting children to keep quiet. Very difficult. You might scream, you might shout at that moment, shut up your mouth, keep quiet, don't talk much, blah, 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 blah. They would obey you at that point, okay? Give them 10 minutes. They start off all over again. That's the way their system is wired. You cannot tell a child to keep quiet or tell a child or beat a child and expect the child not to cry. That's a popular quote that we say once in a while. And according to this principal, when she was being interviewed, she said these children, as young as 2, 3, received the most of the physical assault. Why? They were beaten mercilessly. Because at some point they were made to move from one point to the other, trying to evade security, trying to run away from, the military men who were on their trail. So they were being moved and most times made to trek 4 hours, 5 hours. God have mercy. And then in between all of these movements, sometimes the children will cry. Sometimes they want to make a lot of noise while playing or while chatting away. And these guys will beat them blue black. Inhumane treatments. Let's not forget the beheading of one of the teachers. What I actually do not know is if that teacher was beheaded right in the presence of those children. I actually cannot ascertain as at now, but we all saw the viral video of that teacher, the male teacher, being beheaded. And also the principal said that the women didn't actually go through a lot. It was the men that suffered. They were beaten mercilessly. They were actually made to undergo a lot of inhumane treatment. Why? Because they were men. And yes, they had to pass on a message to the government using the males as an example. What a world. It's actually a sad story. Right, okay. So my point in all of this is that the children, most importantly, between the age of 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and up to maybe 16, the teenagers who were also involved passed through a lot of critical stages of emotional trauma. We cannot shy away from that. So that's what we'll be looking at. And in line with that, two psychiatrists that are well known in the country have come up to urge the federal government to try as much as they can to monitor the rescued Oyo people's mental health for at least 1 year. It's not all about showing us on television how they are well taken care of, how they've been rescued, and then you take them to the government house, you clothe them, you feed them. This might last for a few days, right? You take them to the hospital for medical checkup and all of that. It might last for a few days, but the psychiatrists are raising the alarm and they are advising the Oyo State government to try as much as they can to make sure that these children, especially the children, are monitored for at least 1 year for signs of mental health relapse. Yes. And now, let me read out what they said. They said that beyond immediate crisis intervention, the rescued people should undergo comprehensive psychological assessment and receive continuous mental health care for the next 365 days. Now, they went on to say that long-term follow-up is crucial because children who survive traumatic experience such as kidnapping are at a higher risk of developing a range of mental health conditions. Those mental health conditions I'll get to reel out in the course of the program, but for the benefit of people who are on Facebook and on our social media platforms, you can go see clips of these children for yourself. And I can see a girl as young as 3 years or maybe 2 years being carried around. My goodness, how did she cope? It's not a sight to behold at all. Now, while speaking with newsmen, the psychiatrist said the conditions that could affect these children later on in life include post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, anxiety, depression, sleep disturbances, behavioral changes, some of which may not become apparent until weeks or months after the traumatic event. So now you see them all happy, all smiling, excited to be reunited with their families and every other person. But watch out what's going to happen in the coming weeks. They start to want to get scared, nightmares, unnecessary fear. And the saddest part? It will take a while for these children to go back to school. Even their parents will not allow them go back to school. Why? Out of fear. Trauma. That is what trauma can do. So you find out that they will have to live with trauma for most part of their lives while growing up, until maybe after a while, if the government does, the right thing, and these psychiatric experts are saying, like they have said, rather, that they should be made to undergo counseling and all that. If the government gets to heed to the call of these experts, trust me, I believe that everything will be fine. Now, the trauma is not just for the children. What of the adults, the teachers? And who also saw what happened, with their eye, who also were part of the whole traumatic incident and event. Witnessing killings and violence can also cause anxiety. It can also cause depression and PTSD on the part of the teachers and adults who also witnessed all of these events. Now, the teachers in particular may struggle to return to classrooms to care for other children. It's going to take a while. The principal was asked, okay, so you're back. Thank God. What next? Will you go back to the teaching profession? Will you go back to the classroom? And she said, well, she would have to take a while to recover. That she has taught and she has served the country for 28 years. She has, let's say, barely 4 years. So she would have to think critically before going back to the classroom. It's quite unfortunate. I have a lot to say, right? But I feel it's time for us to open up the phone lines for people who would want to call in to share their thoughts with me this morning. Do you agree with what the psychiatrists have said, that the released abducted children should be monitored constantly for at least 1 year for signs of regression, for signs of relapse, especially when it has to do with their mental health? And if you're a parent listening to me, not just the parents, you are a caregiver, you are a guardian, you are an aunt and uncle, and something like this gets to happen to your 3-year-old or 2-year-old, or even your teenage child or children who went through such trauma, what will you do after the return? Like, I don't even know what else to say. But then, how can schools prepare teachers to support pupils who have experienced one form of violence or abduction? Remember, the goal and the aim is mental health, okay? So let's see what we can actually make out from the conversation this morning. The numbers to call remain. And the numbers remain 0911 20,022, or you call 0707 454 1014. And we lost that call. Hello, good morning to you. Yes, please speak into your mouthpiece. What's your name? Okay, how are you today? Go ahead. Can you hear me? All right, I'm sorry, I'd have to let you go. Change your position and call me back. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, please, you're welcome. Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am. My name is Chikamso.
Your name is?
Chikamso.
Chikamso. Chikamso, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from
You're calling from where?
Nekede.
Go ahead, please. Any contribution to the topic for today?
The psychiatrist needs to look after the children, and the parents need to focus more on the children, on their mental health.
Okay. So what would you advise?
I would advise that the government should put more effort in taking care of the children for their mental health and their physical fitness.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much, Chikamso. I appreciate you for calling in this morning. The government has a lot of work to do to ensure that these children are well taken care of mentally and are fit to go back to their normal duties. And I agree with you, Chikamso, 100% in line with what the psychiatric experts are also saying. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning, Slim Diva.
Yes, please. How are you today?
I'm not feeling too well. Not that I'm sick, but yeah, you understand. You know, over let me say, ever since those children we are taking,
yeah,
I've been battling depression.
Oh my goodness! Oh no!
I've been battling depression. I don't eat. I don't sleep at night. I just as if I got out. As if I'm seeing what they are going through.
Okay.
Every day of my life. Every day of my life, I think about these children. I think about the other day I was walking and rain beat me. I wasn't feeling that rain is beating me. I was even imagining what about the children in the bush.
Oh no. Oh no.
You understand?
Yes, I do.
Sometimes I feel afraid. I'm just tired of this country as a whole. I'm just tired.
It's okay.
Sorry, my name is Kachi. I'm calling from Port Harcourt Road.
Kachi, it's good to have you join us this morning. So do you agree with what the psychiatrists have said, that these children should be monitored?
Yes, they should be monitored. Even when they are sleeping, they should be monitored. Even when they are sleeping.
Okay.
They should be monitored. Even when they are eating, they should be monitored.
And then another thing just came to mind, right? In our schools, I don't think there's anything that gets to prepare even the children and the teachers for incidents like this. Don't you think it's high time?
And the next thing that will help these children now is to take them out from that particular environment.
Okay.
They should change location, go to a place, let me say a place where they will keep seeing people as in different kind of people. Like, let me say, somebody in let me say in a place like Ohaji now, then this thing happened there. You don't have to bring that person back to that place.
Okay.
Take him to the town, to the city. where you can, where we can be able to see new people, new things, and so I can be able to take those things. It will not go easily, but at least they can be able to forget those things so soon than bringing them back to that same area.
Environment.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
Kachi.
it help them a lot.
Yes,
yeah.
I agree with you. Thank you so much for your call and for sharing your thoughts with us this morning. And please
Yes.
take care of your mental health, okay?
I'm really trying my best.
Yes,
It's
please.
it's not that been easy.
I know.
That's why I make our time to make sure I listen to your program every day.
Thank you so much, okay? I appreciate you. Yes, we are all going through what Kachi is going through. The truth is, nowhere is safe anymore. Nowhere. You could be in your house and someone will just come, knock off your door, and you are taken. You're carried into the bush just like that. You're whisked away. You could be on your way to work and someone double crosses your vehicle and takes you to an unknown destination. Nowhere is safe anymore. That's the truth. So Kachi has also said that these children should be taken far away from where they are currently. I agree. However, the truth remains that reality is staring us in the face. Nowhere is safe, Kachi. Even if you say these children should be taken to another community, how sure are you that that community is safe? So that's why they really have to undergo therapy. Imagine you are feeling this way, not to talk of people who pass through the traumatic experience. What a world. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Morning to you. What's your name, please?
My name is Brasheda from Adana Street.
Oh, Brother Shadrach. Yes, I owe you a recharge card, okay? Sorry about that. I forgot, actually, but I have the list. I have the list here.
No problem.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, in the first place, we have to appreciate God for having touched the government to do the needful by releasing those children.
Okay.
It's quite unfortunate.
Yeah.
But as it has happened, the only way to help these children is to monitor them very well. Monitor them very well. Even though in child style of life, most of things they see seem to be look to them like the movies.
Yeah.
So most of the things in their life, those like the younger ones, sometimes it looks to them like the movies. All the flashbacks, within a small time, they forget about it. But those ones who has got to the age of reasoning, so these are the ones that will suffer it most.
Yeah.
Because they will enter into their membrane.
Very true.
Why I'm saying this, I remember when we were growing up as a children, in most of the shops we see around, we don't even regard it as an issue. But those ones, those who are at the age of reasoning, maybe they'll be running, you're just looking at them. So that is it. But notwithstanding, they have to be monitored.
Okay.
However it is, they have to be monitored. And then we pray God to touch the government to do the needful, because the truth of the matter is that we are in a very big, confused condition this time in this country. And nowhere is safe. If you are traveling on the road, you are not at peace. Anywhere you are going, you are not at peace because you don't know where it will happen.
Yeah.
So that is it. I remember one day I was coming back from Enugu around 8 o'clock at night. You know what it means? And you know the scary road there. Each time as we are moving, I see something like a light on the road, my heart will just move. Because by that time of the hour, I don't know who are those who are police and those who are not police.
Very true.
Everyone is a suspect.
Yeah.
Just because of the situation of the country. So I pray that God will help those children to recover very well and then pop environment and move on.
Okay.
Thank you and God bless.
Thank you so much, Brother Shadrach. I appreciate you this morning. And on WhatsApp, we have a message. It says, I am Nonso from Naze. I think the government should build strong and well-protected schools with burglary-proof windows and doors with good lock system to protect them so that when anything happens, they can simply lock the windows and the doors. My brother, I wish it were so. But let us be realistic. These people go as far as burning buildings. The The moment you fortify your building with all of this burglary proof and what have you, they might decide to burn the building and burn everybody in it. That's the unfortunate thing about the way the terrorists operate. So in as much as I want to agree with you, Chinon, so from Naze, but I also want to shock you that that might not be the best solution. Okay, so while we are also trying to call in to share our ideas and our thoughts, I also feel we should bring some solutions on how schools, we shouldn't wait until it gets to this part of Nigeria, right? That's why we learn from experience. How can schools now try to incorporate these things in their daily teachings? Get to teach the children about disaster management, what to do, to run away from harm, or how they can take care of themselves, and protect themselves. And then the teachers and the adults as well, how can they protect their mental health if they find themselves in such a scenario? I actually give that woman her flowers. I mean the principal, because she was so strong. And I know that those children stayed alive because she was there, encouraging them, even in the face of all the challenges, but she was there, she was strong, she was resilient. So how can other teachers and other adults learn and take a leaf from what happened right there in Orire? Okay, keep your calls coming in. A few more calls and then we'll call it a day for today. This is still Health Revolution right here on Echo FM 100.7 Owerri. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello?
Yes, please. Good morning. Can you hear me? Okay, change your position and call me back if you can. So the experts warned that the psychological effects of abduction may persist long after the people's release, adding that sustained follow-up care is essential to identifying conditions and providing timely intervention. All right, hello?
Hello.
Yes, please, what's your name?
My name is Chikas. I called back.
Chikem, so quickly, please, go ahead.
Now, I'm talking about the way school.
Oh, no, I don't know what's going on with your network. Sorry about that. Hello?
Hello, good morning.
Morning to you. Welcome. What's your name?
God bless. Yes, my name is Paul Odifore from Morocco.
You're welcome. Go ahead, please.
Okay. Our problem in this country is that things are easily said than being done. We are talking of these rural children. In the whole Northeast, a lot of things has happened. Almost all of us are depressed. Something that happened there, we are here also are depressed. I could remember when I was a kid, when my younger was buried, as early as 6 years.
Try.
I could be crying at the time, but my parents do not know what made me be crying when I remember the death of my younger one.
Okay.
Even at home, one of my father friends also used to come to a place with a bra and women, that's how her wife wear, because of how traumatic the wife died. As a result of that, he find it difficult to relating with other women. So this kind of children may find it difficult seeing elderly people around them, more especially people with uniform or people with ammunition. Then when they see people, the spirit of fear will be order of the day for them.
Oh, no.
And sometimes they find it difficult relating with other people in the community.
Yeah.
And most of them may even take vengeance. Most of them will even take assaulting people anyhow, fighting anyhow, when they remember what they passed through in the forest. So we need to stop these things at all levels. It is not good.
All right.
So thank you. And God bless.
Thank you, Paul. I appreciate your call this morning, and what you have said is actually true, and that's why we are talking about these things. Some people feel, oh, they are quite young, they might not remember. You see, children of this generation, they do not forget. I can remember things that happened to me as young as 6 years. Yes, I'm that sharp. I can remember. Not to talk of the Gen Zs that you have now. They do not forget. I can tell you, and I'm telling you out of experience. So if you're thinking, oh, that thing that happened to them, don't worry, after a few years, it will wipe off. It will not wipe off anything, no. The fear don't enter their body, be say it don't enter, okay? And that's why we're talking about this. Hello? All right, change your position and call me back. Good morning to you. Hello, good morning. Okay, no, the network is really playing a fast one on me. Hello?
Good morning,
Good-
Slim Diva.
Good morning to you. Is that Coach Mike?
This is Mr. Steve Ozemana.
Oh, Mr. Steve, how have you been?
I'm doing great, and you?
Very well, thank you. You're welcome. Go ahead, please.
Honestly, I've been avoiding to make comments again or to call on this issue to avoid getting emotional.
Please do not get
Because each
emotional.
time I remember this incident and so many of them that has been happening, I
Okay.
feel so bad
Yeah.
that this should be happening to children. Even if I know you have children,
Yes, I do.
just imagine your little child of about 3 years. Even for 1 day, 2 days, you didn't see the child, and you were told that he's in the hand of kidnappers, deadly criminals in the bush. Even I don't know the kind of psychological. You are even talking about those children. What about the parents?
Yes,
What about the parents? They even need rehabilitation too.
very true.
Honestly, only God knows what these parents must have been going through all these days, almost 60 days, 2 months. So I think I agree with what the experts say, because the experience will not go out fast on these children. It will take a long time.
Yeah.
Nobody should dispute that.
Okay.
So they need follow-up. It's not enough for you to show their pictures or their videos. You take them to government house, you give them fried rice, and then you take them back to their parents.
That's not what
Government
they need.
should take responsibility of those children henceforth.
Okay.
The same way you rehabilitate people like drug addicts, these children need to be kept in a very cozy environment. The education, it will be difficult for these children to go back to school. Are you
Very
aware?
true. I'm aware. Very
So
true.
it will take a long time for you to convince them. Say, go to, immediately you mention school, some of them will just, the reaction of the psychological effects will start immediately, and they will be behaving like mad people.
Yes.
Even the moment they even see school environment. So you need to keep them in a different environment, like somebody have recommended. Take them to a better, you may not call it school, but it's going to be a school for them, where they are going to be taught from primary to whichever class they are, not the usual school where they used to go, because they will still be afraid. The horrifying aspect of that, their journey, is the behaving of their teacher. And I think this thing was done in front of those children.
Oh my goodness.
The behaving of their teacher in their front. So
That's
please,
terrible.
I think government should do so. But my own worry is not just about this or your children. I think they should put a stop to this.
Yes.
Slim Diva, you know that even in wartime, children and women are respected, even in wartime.
Okay.
So I appeal to those people, those criminals, those people who call themselves kidnappers, whether they are doing this for money or for any other purposes, they should please consider these children. I know some of them even have children at home. So this is not a business you do with children, because it has repercussions, it has effect even that will follow those who maltreat them.
Very true.
Spare these children, for goodness sake. They do not deserve to suffer for the ignobility of their parents or the nature of Nigeria now. These children should not pay for it. They are not the people who cause it. I'm appealing to them to please have a heart to leave children and women out of this, even though I am not saying they should go for other people. But children should be stayed. They do not deserve it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Steve Ozemena. You said a lot, and I can feel the emotions in your voice. We're all passing through this together. But the truth is, unfortunately, we are in a world where these people do not care, okay? And they will keep re-strategizing, and they will keep coming back. And that's why we are talking about these things. Like I said, I feel that we should now make it a point of duty that every school should try as much as possible to put up security measures in place and try to teach the children, the teachers, and everyone what they should know. Because now I see it that these terrorists have concluded that it's easier for them to pick up children. Why? When they have these children, they put a lot of pressure, on both the parents and the government. If they have adults, you won't see this much pressure. But the moment children are involved, it will draw international, people want to, be involved in that case and find out exactly what's going on and how they can help. So I feel it's going to take a while, That's the truth. Let's be realistic. It has come into Nigeria. It has come into Nigeria. Terrorism is something that is being experienced all over the world. But the truth is, if we do not nip it in the bud now, I'm sorry, nothing can be done about it. Hello?
Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, you're welcome. Name and location. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Good morning, Lever.
You're welcome.
I'm calling from
Oh, Coach Mike, I almost mistook your voice for Mr. Steve's. You're welcome, Coach Mike.
Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome. Go ahead.
We just thank God for last week when it's good time. The student, the pupils, not just students, the pupils this time. So those kids are big.
The pupils, yes.
The pupils, released, from the hands of the terrorists. And it's not just, I celebrate their release anyway. I celebrate their life. I celebrate the fact that school principal deserves an award.
Okay.
Yes. I can imagine. See, this thing that happened. That is something these people, traumatic experience. Those people had, those parents and also the kids had a very captive. That's something that be used to write a book about, tell a story of the account of the life, the experience they had, and also a book or a story that is against every form of terrorism in Nigeria. Sure, it's not a good story though, but it's not a good story, but it's good for the perspective of people to.
Your line is bad though, Coach Mike. Move around a little. Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead quickly.
So there's writing a book or telling a story, giving account of for someone to give account of what the experience they had, is actually to help people, to the posterity, people in the future to be able to have ample knowledge about things to do or things to how to prevent themselves from getting the house.
Exactly.
Getting the house. That's one. Then you what they call post-trauma experience.
Post-trauma what?
Post-traumatic disorder.
Okay, yes, PTSD.
Yes, they will be having that post-traumatic disorder. Yes, even military the uniform men that actually have traumatic. Sometimes it's in the middle of this.
Coach Mike, I'm so sorry. Your line is really, really bad, and I'm struggling to hear you. Initially, I could hear you clearly, but all of a sudden, I think your network is I don't know if it's from your end or from my end, but so sorry I had to let you go. Maybe you can change your position and call me back. Thank you so much. So let's talk about the behavioral and developmental impacts that the kidnapping and abduction could have on these children and even the adults involved. For the children in particular, you'd have attachment issues. Traumatic captivity alters how a child relates to even the parents and the caregivers around them, and you find them exhibiting extreme clinginess, emotional withdrawal, or they might even develop unhealthy trauma bonds with their with people around them. Regression. Younger children frequently regress in developmental milestones, manifesting signs like bedwetting, thumb sucking, sudden muteness. All of a sudden, you're talking to the child and the child is moping at you. Yes, that child could have regressed at that point. That's what we call regression. And then even before that abduction or before the kidnapping, it's possible that most of these children were not bedwetting. But watch out for some of these signs now that they are back. You find out that they start to bedwet. They start to be mute all of a sudden. They are scared to talk. Oh, no. There could be impaired cognitive function because the children's brains are still developing. Extreme psychological shock can impair their memory, can impair focus and their learning abilities. They would have issues with trusting people. That's what I want you to know. The violation of trust, especially in cases of stranger abduction, leads to a persistent mistrust of others. So you find out that if Now, for instance, they are reunited with their family members. They might not want to associate with other people. They might not want to make friends. They might not want to even leave the house. Why? Because they will be scared of trusting others. Okay? So it's a lot actually for these children. We might not feel in their shoes to know how they're feeling right now, but I want to tell you that it's not a funny experience. So, according to one of the psychiatrists, she's a consultant child and, a child and adolescent psychiatrist, Dr. Tinuola Ajayi. She said that spending 56 days in captivity would have profound psychological effects on those children. And she is also urging the government to try as much as they can to monitor these children closely. Hello?
Yeah, good morning.
You're welcome. What's your name, please?
My name is Alex.
From where?
I'm calling from Udenwa Estate.
You're welcome. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, I just want to talk about the security agencies. I just want to thank them for their good work that they are doing. I want to thank the commander from the southeast, who is the commander 2 division in Ibadan, for the good work he did. You know. But be it is as it may, it is unfortunate that the amount of money we sign into security vote. And if you check the amount, even the so-called Iran that is facing US don't have that kind of money. And yet, Iran has been able to stay where they are. And yet, the so-called powerful nation in Africa cannot even buy drone, cannot even get manufacturing drone. Look at Ukraine. I'm comparing them. In fact, they should wake up. It's a wake-up call. All this, they are politicizing of a thing doesn't make sense. Nigeria need to wake up.
And then linking it to the traumatic experience, because this is health revolution. What do you have to say about that, please?
Yeah, but it has affected them. Staying in 56 days, you and I know, even you, if you stay a day in a cell in Nigeria, you know how it is. So these children, in fact, they are supposed to be celebrated.
Okay.
Some of these men, you see, I cannot stay in a cell for a night. Not to talk of this kind of a toddler staying in the bush for 56 days. Imagine. Well, I give glory to God, but Nigeria is a wake-up call.
Yes.
Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you, Alex from Udenwa Estate. And that's the much I'll be taking on the calls this morning. I'm sorry the phone lines are buzzing, but I would not be able to take more calls. Let's move over to messages on Facebook. Samuel Chinedu says, good day to you, the Slim Diva. I think what the Zamfara state government did to nursing mothers to stay up to 6 months of maternity leave is a welcome development. And I'm begging other state governors to emulate what has happened in Zamfara State. My name is MC Baboti. Okay, from Owelu Urata. Thank you. And I think he actually commented on the update I gave this morning. The next one is from Ozo Francis Omaga Namani. He says he's watching live from Amagunze in Enugu State. Thank you so much. Greetings from here and keep up the good work. I appreciate you. Omaga Namani. Hope I pronounced your name correctly, but I appreciate you. Thank you so much for tuning in all the way from Enugu State. This one says, good morning. Honestly, I really feel for these children, but thanks to Almighty God. My own is that the government should do the needful by taking proper care of these innocent children because they actually went through a lot in captivity. My name is Uju, texting you from Tetlo. Uju, I appreciate you as always. And to everyone who called in, Chikamso, Kachi, Brother Shadrach, Paul Obiekwere, Mr. Steve Ozwemena, Coach Mike, Alex, and a host of other people who have been trying to reach me, and those who called in as well. I appreciate all of you. So what the experts are saying, basically, even the psychiatrists, is that these children should be well taken care of. Physically, mentally, psychologically, emotionally, so that maybe in the coming years, when they look back, rather than become depressed based on the traumatic experience, at the forest, they will smile and dance and celebrate. Maybe by then they would have, gone through all of the counseling and all of the monitoring they actually need to, so that they don't come back depressed. It's actually a sad one. I don't even know what else to say, but I hope that going forward, this doesn't happen again. So let everyone be security conscious, be cautious of your environment. And if you see something, like I would always say, please say something. For people who have been depressed for the past 56 days plus, welcome back, okay? Please do not be depressed. I want you to try as much as you can to see the bright side of life. Challenges will always be there, okay? Security risk will always be there. But what matters at the end of the day is for us to remain sane in this wicked world. That's what I call it, because the truth is some people do not care how you feel. They do not care. And I wonder most times if it's the same blood that flows through my veins that also flows through their veins. I do not know. But I want you to know that, unfortunately, we'll keep hearing sad news like this. So please try as much as you can to protect your mental health. If possible, stay off social media. If you come across stories like this, process it in the best way that you can, but don't let it weigh you down too much. I beg you, okay? Thank you very much. Tomorrow I'll make a return on Health Revolution. To everyone who called in, I say thank you. My name is Mary Omeniwo. They call me the Slim Diva. You're most adorable. And up next is the news. Thank you, DJ J-Boy. Good afternoon to you. It's the 14th day of July 2026. Welcome to the Global News at Noon right here on Echo FM 100.7 Owerri. We are the station with fair and balanced reporting. My name is Mary Omeniwo, bringing you the latest news and breaking stories around the world. Here are the headlines. Final evacuation flight from South Africa to bring back 315 Nigerians is underway. Presidency slams Makinde over demand for UN probe. World Bank warns of fragile global food supply. And on the foreign scene, Iraq Prime Minister to meet Trump in Washington over Iran ties. Nigeria, Hong Kong signed double taxation agreement to boost investment. And on sports news, Messi meets England with World Cup final place on the line. Details shortly. As usual, we start off with national stories that says the federal government has concluded arrangements for the final evacuation of stranded Nigerians from South Africa, with 315 returnees expected to arrive in Lagos on Wednesday. This was disclosed in a statement signed by the spokesperson of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Kimiebi Ebienfa. The flight marks the conclusion of the federal government's evacuation of Nigerians who indicated interest to return home following the recent xenophobic attacks and security concerns in parts of South Africa. The government had earlier conducted 4 evacuation flights, bringing home hundreds of Nigerians as part of efforts to ensure the safety and welfare of its citizens abroad. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs reaffirmed the federal government's commitment to protecting Nigerians wherever they may be and expressed appreciation to stakeholders involved in the evacuation exercise. In another development, the presidency has criticized Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde over his call for a United Nations-led investigation into the abduction of pupils and teachers in the state, describing the demand as unnecessary and politically motivated. Makinde, while formally assuming responsibility for the welfare, rehabilitation and education of the 45 teachers and pupils rescued after spending 56 days in captivity, called for a UN-backed investigation into the abduction, saying Nigerians deserved a full account of the circumstances surrounding the incident. However, the special advisor to the president on information and strategy, Bayo Onanuga, stated that the governor's request suggested a lack of confidence in Nigerian security institutions, insisting that the military and other security agencies had already provided explanation on the rescue operation. The presidential spokesman accused Makinde, who is a presidential aspirant, for allowing political considerations influence his call for an international probe. And over to Lagos, where the Lagos state government has threatened legal action against an ex-user for reportedly sharing a misleading flood video falsely attributed to the state. The Commissioner for Environment and Water Resources, Tokunbo Wahab, disclosed this in a series of posts on X, insisting that deleting the post after it had been debunked would not shield the user from legal consequences. Wahab stressed that while the government respects citizens' right to freedom of expression, such rights must be exercised responsibly. He added that the deliberate dissemination of false information and misleading narratives not only undermines the efforts of the Lagos state government, but also diminishes the credibility of genuine complaints raised by well-meaning residents. Following the government's clarification, the ex-user admitted that the video did not originate from Nigeria and immediately deleted the post. Despite the retraction, the Lagos state government maintained that it would proceed with legal action over the dissemination of false information. We now move over to Yobe State, where the government has approved the enrollment of state and local government retirees into the social equity program of its health insurance scheme. The Executive Secretary of the Yobe Contributory Healthcare Management Agency, Dr. Babagana Tijani, disclosed this in a statement released in Damaturu. Tijani noted that the approval was granted by Governor Mai Menabuni following a recommendation from the agency. He also stated that the initiative aimed to reduce the financial burden of out-of-pocket expenses among pensioners and enhance access to comprehensive high-quality healthcare services at the agency's accredited health facilities. According to him, the approval underscores the state government's commitment to improving retirees' welfare and ensuring that senior citizens continue to enjoy quality health care after leaving active service. Tijani commended the governor for approving the initiative and reaffirmed the agency's commitment to its effective implementation. It's exactly 8 minutes past noon. If you just tuned in, you are listening to the Global News at Noon right here on Echo FM 100.7 Owerri. Let's take a look at the headlines once again. Final evacuation flight from South Africa to bring back 315 Nigerians is underway. President Islam's marking day over demand for UN probe. World Bank warns of fragile global food supply. On the foreign scene, Iraq Prime Minister to meet Trump in Washington over Iran ties. Nigeria, Hong Kong sign double taxation agreement to boost investment. And on sports news, Messi meets England with World Cup final place on the line. We'll bring you details after this break. Please stay tuned.
Lassa fever is a type of viral hemorrhagic illness that can be
To the Global News at Noon right here on Echo FM 100.7 Owerri. And now, business news. News reaching us says the World Bank has issued a stark warning regarding the stability of global food system, noting that despite an adequate volume of total supplies, deep vulnerabilities persist across the globe. Surging input costs, geopolitical friction, and looming climate threats that risk reversing years of progress in poverty reduction. The report paints a complex picture of domestic food price inflation, which remains moderately high worldwide. While inflationary pressures have shown slight improvement in high-income and upper-middle-income nations, low-income countries are experiencing a distinct deterioration. As the world heads into the latter half of 2026, the international community faces growing pressure to implement targeted support, early warning drought systems, and contingency plans to prevent localized supply strains from spiraling into widespread humanitarian crisis. Over now to the foreign scene, where Iraqi Prime Minister Ali al-Zaidi will meet U.S. President Donald Trump in Washington as the U.S. administration piles pressure on Baghdad to curb Iranian influence. His visit comes against the backdrop of renewed military escalation between the United States and Iran, Iraq's main allies. Washington and Tehran's enmity has long turned Iraq into a proxy battleground and left successive governments struggling to maintain a delicate balance between the two foes. Zaidi arrived in Washington for his first international visit since assuming office, a week-long trip during which he will meet Trump, U.S. officials, and representatives of oil companies. In a show of support, the United States has resumed cash shipments for Iraqi's oil revenue, which have been handled from the Federal Reserve Bank of New York since 2003. Washington has suspended the payments earlier this year as it pressured Baghdad to disarm the pro-Iran armed groups. And still on the foreign scene, Nigeria and the Hong Kong Special Administrative Region of the People's Republic of China has signed an agreement for the elimination of double taxation on income and the prevention of tax evasion and avoidance in a move aimed at strengthening trade, investment, and economic cooperation between the two jurisdictions. The agreement was signed during a virtual ceremony by the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Mr. Taiwo Oyedele, on behalf of Nigeria, and by the Secretary for Financial Services and the Treasury of Hong Kong Special Administrative Region, Mr. Christopher Huey, on behalf of Hong Kong. Speaking at the ceremony, Oyedele described the agreement as a major milestone in the growing economic and commercial relationship between Nigeria and Hong Kong. The minister further expressed appreciation to the government of the Hong Kong Special Administrative Region and other stakeholders whose contributions made the agreements successful. And lastly, in the world of sports, Lionel Messi has never taken on England. However, he will finally get the chance in Wednesday's World Cup semi-final. Messi won his 200th cap for the Albi Celeste in the group stage victory against Algeria and dreams of leading his country to the final once again. Argentina are now one game away from reaching another World Cup final as they aim to become the first team to retain the trophy since Brazil in 1962. It will be a third final in 4 World Cups, and Messi could follow in the footsteps of Brazil's great Cafu. And that's all for the Global News at noon this afternoon. This was brought to you directly from our news desk. For more information and enquiries, please visit our social media platforms on Facebook at Echo FM, X at Echo FM_Owerri, Instagram at Echo FM 100.7, and YouTube at Echo FM 100.7. You can listen to us anywhere in the world by clicking on www.echofm.net. That is www.echofm.net. My name is Mary Omeniwode. Thank you for listening. Good afternoon to you.